Are you just getting started with that Mevo camera? Whether it's connecting to the camera or signing into YouTube or Facebook, maybe it's choosing an audio source. Let's look at Mevo basics today on My Favorite Things. When you open the Mevo app, this is the screen that first pops up. Your Mevo will be named something different. If this is the first time you've set it up, it will be named Mevo and then a dash and maybe some string of numbers and letters. I've changed the name of mine to Mevo Start so that I can designate it different from my Mevo Plus. You see the Connect button, you see the Configure Mevo button. When this screen pops up, you may see this message that asking if you would like to connect your device to the Mevo's Wi-Fi network. If your controlling device, I'm working on an iPad obviously, is connected to a different network from the Mevo itself, this is the message that you will get. This is done in iPad OS 14 with the most current version of the Mevo 2.0 app and the Mevo firmware installed. And what it's wanting to do is make sure that your Mevo and your controlling device, your iPad or your other tablet or your phone, is connected to the same network. I'm going to choose cancel because I want to show you the process. Normally I would hit OK and it would ask to join that network. I can either choose to configure the iPad to the Mevo's network or configure the Mevo to the iPad's network. Now there are several networks in my office. The one that is closest and will give me the best signal is not going to be this streaming network that the Mevo is on. So I'm going to configure the Mevo to match the one that the iPad is on. So I'll click on Configure Mevo. It will talk to the Mevo for a little bit and then another screen will pop up. I'm letting this run in real time so that you can see and not panic that this is taking a few seconds for it to talk to one another. As the Mevo and iPad talk to each other, they do so over Bluetooth because it knows it's about to change, or it assumes it's about to change Wi-Fi network, so it's a little bit slower connection as it visits with the device over Bluetooth. I'm going to choose this. It's the closest. Notice I am choosing a 5G network, not a 2.4G network. 2.4 is not fast enough throughput to be a reliable, usable at all source for going live with the Mevo. It has to be a 5 gigahertz network if you're running through Wi-Fi. You see, you also have the choice of connecting to the Mevo hotspot. The Mevo itself does not produce a cellular signal. What that would rely on would be cellular data via iPad. So if you were on a phone or if you were on an iPad that had a cellular connection, you could choose Mevo hotspot and use that cellular connection as your data to go live with this live event camera. My iPad does not have a cellular connection in it, so I rely on Wi-Fi or on a cellular hotspot. This time we're going to go live on a Wi-Fi network. I've chosen that to match what my iPad is already connected to. So the Mevo, Configure Mevo button there, the Mevo is connected to Win004170. That is the same thing that my iPad is connected to. As long as those two match, then we're in business, and now I get the Connect button. If the Wi-Fi at your venue is not reliable, if it doesn't have enough upload speed, by the way, you're going to need 4 to 5.9 megabits per second upload for a 1080p stream. You're going to need 2 to 3.4 megabits per second for a 720 upload speed. You're going to need 1 to 2 megabits per second for a 480p upload. If your Wi-Fi doesn't give you that, or if your camera is going to be mounted and not moved. If it's a single-use camera and it's being set up for a regular use in one spot, running an Ethernet cable is going to be your best choice. It's actually the best choice no matter what. Sometimes it's just inconvenient. Running the Ethernet cable, though, gives a consistent, reliable signal provided that you have enough bandwidth to give the upload that you need. Running Ethernet into the back of a Mevo Plus with a boost mount is just as easy as plugging it in. The jack is already there. If you're going to run it into the Mevo Plus without the boost, then you have to come up with what is known as a Chromecast. It's a third-party solution, but there are good tutorials out there for how to run Ethernet into a Chromecast. If you're going to be running Ethernet into the back of a Mevo Start, what you need is the Mevo Start Ethernet Power Adapter. Now, clicking on this link in the settings page in the Mevo app is actually going to take you to a page not found. But then if you'll click on the Shop All Products, you're actually going to get to the page that it should have sent you to. And what you're looking for is the Ethernet Power Adapter. There are third-party solutions that are somewhat less expensive than this one, but they don't necessarily carry power over Ethernet the way this one does. What you'll do is there'll be a dongle to connect from this unit to the USB-C connection on the back of the Start. And then, of course, you can plug your Ethernet cable into this jack, and then you are connected to Ethernet, reliable connection on your Mevo. So we'll go back into the Configure Mevo page. Before we go live on a stream, it's always good to make sure our audio source is sorted out. So what we'll do is look at the options for our audio source. We'll find that in the ellipsis at the bottom of the screen. And then we have these choices along the left-hand side. Now, we talked a little bit about the adjustment settings. This icon, when you're not live, shows up and it's just your library. You can go back and look at your previous videos. The icon on the far left is the Autopilot Live Follow and Find Faces. It's your camera assistant choices. Now, Autopilot is one of those that sometimes for some reason gets checked by default, and so you may be in a stream and you're zooming into a certain part of the event, and for some reason it goes back to full screen and you don't know why. If that's the case, then you need to know that your Autopilot setting has been clicked on. The Live Follow option, when coupled with Find Faces, will allow the camera itself to find the face of the person that is in view, and as that person moves and their face stays visible, it will actually go back and forth across the screen. I imagine that if someone was doing a demo of some sort and they faced the camera the whole time, that would be a very useful tool for streaming. But we're concerned right now about our audio sources. So, opening up the audio mixer, we'll just go from top to bottom. Now, the help will take you off-site and to a website that allows help that Mevo produces. This is a monitor. If I click this and turn the monitor speaker on, you will probably begin to hear an echo, and that's the feedback loop you don't want. And that's the feedback loop you don't want. Of course, this would close this particular pop-up view. The output is like your main slide on a soundboard. You have the ability to mute your output, and you have the ability to control how hot your output is going. Volume slider there. Then you can see that we have the option of using the Mevo built-in microphone. Now, the Mevo Start has a 3-microphone array that is a good quality microphone, especially if the Mevo is positioned like it should be, and that is close to its subject. Right now I'm not using that because I'm using the iPad microphone. I actually have a lapel mic plugged into the USB-C port of my iPad. When I turn the volume up or down on the iPad itself, you see that I get a headphone icon in that, and that shows you that I have something plugged in there. So I can use this as a secondary audio input. There are times when I want to make sure I get the crowd noise at a baseball or football game that I'm streaming, and so I'll make sure that the Mevo microphone is turned on. I may run it down pretty low, so you're just getting the crowd noise. You're not hearing necessarily the individual conversations that are happening around where the Mevo is positioned. But then I may be doing play-by-play from the press box, and so I want those who are listening to the stream, listening and watching the stream, to hear from the Mevo Mic app or from the iPad microphone. So using more than one source is a valuable tool that the audio mixer gives you.